message had to do with what this would do in terms of impacting the Alex Bregman discussions, which are ongoing, mysterious, and hard to follow. Bregman is still out there as the biggest remaining free agent, and Astros GM Dana Brown commented on a possible reunion last night.
We're continuing to have internal conversations because he's still available, and we're just wondering when he's going to make a decision. But the fact that he's available, we still have conversations about. I have not talked to Boris recently, but we are still having conversations internally, and then I'll leave it at that.
We could, there are a ton of things there we could read into, but if you take the comments by Dana Brown at face value, they're still open to discussing a return with Alex Bregman. We're led to believe that he and his camp were holding out for a 7th guaranteed year on the contract. The Astros, their offer seemed to be a ceiling offer, right? I don't see Jim Crane approving one of these go-backs for the extra year. So I myself am skeptical that he returns to the Astros. I think that the next deal is somewhere else. What do you think?
He's getting to the point where he doesn't know where else to go. We're getting there. One thing Dana said when he's going to make up his decision. He was talking about Bregman, right? When he makes his decision. In other words, it's not on us, which we've been well aware of. But Dana says that when he makes his decision, but we're still having internal conversations. The conversation they're having is, okay, the money's still on the table. What happens if he comes back? Plan B, C, everything else. But it's not. He hadn't talked to Boris in, 2 weeks or longer?
Yeah.
That's not good.
And that's among the things we could read into this. It's that our offer is out there. It's not changing. Right. And now it's on the player and the agent to decide if they want it or not.
Now, we do know one thing. When Boris has the scent that his player is going to a certain team, he locks in. And that deal's done. Boom. He locks in. If you haven't talked to Boris and this offer's been out there and your client still doesn't have anything out there and you still haven't talked to Scott, it doesn't sound good for the Astros.
So you mentioned something interesting there. You talked about, the front office meeting with Plan B, C, what if he does take the offer? And one of the other shoes that'll drop here is what that means for Jose Altuve, who said earlier in the offseason that he'd be willing to consider a move to the outfield if it could accommodate a return with Alex Bregman. Manager Joe Espada on that part of the story.
We have been working in left field for the last couple of weeks, but he continues to take ground balls. I'm not going to commit to a number of games, but that's something that we are looking at to create some flexibility, put players in a position to succeed other players that we could, take care of. We could take care of the baseball, keep guys healthy, have a more balanced lineup, offensively. Those are things that we are looking at, and that's what we are considering putting Jose, getting some time in left field.
All right, so Jose Altuve maybe plays left field with or without Bregman, because there was this by Brian McTaggart. Yordan Alvarez, of course, started 53 games in left last year, and Espada wants to dramatically reduce that this year. A help to that would be Altuve out there if he can play left field. But maybe they do that anyway, if what Brian McTaggart is indicating is correct. So I think it's an interesting discussion here. Yeah. If you dream on what Jose Altuve would look like as a left fielder. So one of the things we were asking Keith Costas for today was, what have the returns defensively been like for Altuve? He won a Gold Glove at that position, Keith. What's it been like recently, and do the numbers say it's time to get him out of there?
Well, you're not going to have to read too far into these numbers if they're numbers that you buy into. The last 3 seasons, dead last in the majors among second basemen and defensive runs saved each year. And you put it all together, negative 41. That's the worst among any player at any position over the last 3 years. Now, that does seem a little harsh to me. StatCast numbers were a little more friendly to him in 2022 and 2023. But last year, right in line with what DRS said, he was a bottom 5% of the league in terms of outs above average. So I'm a little bit skeptical that these numbers are quite that harsh, but when you see those 3 lasts and the StatCast numbers seeing the same thing, it certainly gives you a reason for pause.
It's hard to avoid those numbers. I mean, you might not trust the defensive metrics. I know you're skeptical of that stuff. You like the eyeball test when it comes to defense, but dead last 3 straight years it's hard to get off of that.
Well, you got to remember, he had the yips the one stretch, so that's going to affect your numbers, no doubt. But I thought last year he got that confidence back and he's catching the ball. And he's turning the pivot still. So I still think he's a very serviceable second baseman. The problem here is the Astros front office is very sabermetric minded. They believe the DRS. So they're trying to move him. And it may not be Dana Brown, it may not be the manager. It's the think tank in the front office that is weighing in and saying, look at the numbers, here's where it is, let's move him. I believe he's gone. I think he's going to left field. And I think even if Bregman comes back, he's going to second. You know, we've all talked about, oh, they'll trade. Now they got Paredes you can move. Why? They're going to move Bregman to second base. Mm-hmm. I think that's the internal conversation. So if he comes back, Bregman's going to second. If Altuve, who's working right now on fly balls, why would he be doing that if he wasn't going to move? You know, there's never a time when somebody says, hey, I might change positions and not go out and work at it.
Well, maybe Jose Altuve, who we've only known as a second baseman, becomes one of those guys that plays everywhere.
I used to be one of those other guys, Matty.
That's right, D-Row. You were one of those guys.
That look was in your face somewhere. I think this is all about Alvarez, to be honest with you.
Keep him off his feet a
They
little
want
bit.
to put him at DH.
Yeah, you need 150-plus games with him in the lineup, regardless of where it is.
Dodgers' a shocking blockbuster move for Astros' Alex Bregman? Here's what we know. Hey Dodgers fans, welcome back to the channel where we bring you the latest, juiciest updates straight from the heart of Dodger Nation. If you're as pumped about this offseason as we are, buckle up, because we might be on the verge of yet another blockbuster move. That's right, just when you thought the Dodgers were done making waves, there's talk about a shocking new possibility that could shake up not just the team, but the entire league. Imagine this, a player who once stood on the opposite side of one of the most controversial chapters in recent baseball history, potentially wearing Dodger blue. Sounds wild, right? Well, it just might happen. But before we dive into this breaking news, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and turn on those notifications. You won't want to miss a single update as we track every twist and turn of this electrifying offseason. Now, let's get into the juicy details. Segment 1, the Dodgers offseason so far. The Los Angeles Dodgers have had an absolutely spectacular offseason, and that's putting it mildly. From landing Cy Young Award winners to securing international phenoms and Gold Glove defenders, this front office isn't just playing the game, they're dominating it. Add to that a lineup already stacked with Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Shohei Ohtani, and you've got a team that's not just aiming for the playoffs, they're gunning for another World Series title. Fans have been over the moon with these moves, and honestly, who can blame them? The Dodgers aren't just building a team, they're crafting a dynasty. But guess what? They might not be done just yet. That's right, despite an already loaded roster, there could be one more big move brewing behind the scenes. And this one? It might just blow your mind. Segment 2, the shocking possibility. So, what's this shocking move we're talking about? Well, according to ESPN's MLB insider David Schoenfield, the Dodgers are being named as one of the best fits for none other than Alex Bregman. Yep, you heard that right. The same Alex Bregman from the 2017 Houston Astros. Now, let's be real for a second. We all know how Dodgers fans feel about that 2017 Astros team. The memory of that controversial World Series still stings for many, and Bregman was right there in the thick of it. But here's the question. What if bringing Bregman to LA is the ultimate way to reclaim that lost, or should we say, stolen ring? Imagine turning one of the most controversial figures in recent MLB history into a key player for the Dodgers' next championship run. It sounds like something straight out of a Hollywood script, but this is real life, folks. Bregman, a two-time All-Star infielder, is still a free agent. While his history with the Astros makes him a controversial figure among Dodgers fans, his talent on the field is undeniable. Could this be the redemption arc no one saw coming? Segment 3, why this could actually work. Now, before you dismiss this as pure speculation, let's take a closer look at why this unlikely pairing might actually make a lot of sense for the Dodgers. First off, let's talk about Max Muncy, the Dodgers' current third baseman. Muncy is under contract for one more year, with a team option that could extend through 2026. But after that, there's an opening for a long-term solution at third base. Enter Alex Bregman. Plus, the Dodgers recently signed Hae-Sung Kim, a four-time Korean baseball organization Gold Glove winner. Kim's a defensive wizard, no doubt, but he doesn't bring much power at the plate. And in today's game, especially for a team like the Dodgers that thrives on offensive firepower, having a reliable power bat is crucial. Looking ahead to the 2025 season and beyond, Bregman could fill a key role in the Dodgers lineup. Sure, there's no urgent need to make another blockbuster move this offseason, but when has that ever stopped the Dodgers? Adding another proven hitter, especially one with postseason experience, could be the edge they need to stay on top. Segment 4, Bregman's numbers and potential impact. All right, let's get into the numbers, because we know Dodgers fans love the stats. Bregman will turn 31 within the first month of the MLB season, but he's still putting up impressive numbers. In the 2024 campaign, he posted a .260 batting average, hit 26 home runs, drove in 75 RBIs, and finished with a WAR of 4.1. Those are solid stats that could definitely boost an already powerhouse Dodgers lineup. And let's not forget, Bregman is known for his clutch performances in big games. His postseason experience, including multiple deep playoff runs, could be invaluable for a team with World Series aspirations. Sure, his role on the 2017 Astros will never be forgotten by Dodgers fans, but at the end of the day, baseball is about winning. And adding a player of Bregman's caliber could be exactly what the Dodgers need to maintain their dominance. Segment 5, fan reactions and final thoughts. But here's the million-dollar question. Dodgers Nation, what do you think? Is Alex Bregman's talent enough to overlook his past? Could this be the ultimate revenge story, Bregman helping the Dodgers reclaim that stolen ring? Or is this a move that just doesn't sit right with you? Are the Dodgers taking a risk they don't need to take, or is this the kind of bold move that sets champions apart? We want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get that debate going. Would you welcome Bregman to Dodger Stadium, or would you prefer the team steer clear of any association with the 2017 Astros? And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss the latest Dodgers news. We've got you covered for every trade, signing, and rumor this offseason. Thanks for watching, and as always, think blue and stay true. Go Dodgers!